Here's my quote of the day. My first quote, Mark Cuban. I watch Shark Tank. You watch Shark Tank?
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah. Owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Shark Tank, whatever. He said the key to opening or running your own business is to work like there's somebody who's trying to take what you got 24 hours a day. Right.
I can't look back, it's too late now. My days are hours and I don't know how. But I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Good morning and welcome to the 30th Breakfast Ball. I am your host, Bob Cardia. To my left, to your right, is the I was going to say dashing Nick Abate, but Rich, you would get upset if I said dashing. So
Thank you.
We'll say the handsome Nick Abate. Just so you know, guys, if you get anything out of this podcast, we get 10% when you are rich and famous. And do not forget, if you're one of the first 10 people to say, I love the Breakfast Ball in the comments section, we do issue a Starbucks gift certificate each and every week that we do this. So by all means, please, I love the Breakfast Ball. Anyway, and by the way, congratulations to Chris Coleman last week. He did win one of the gift cards. Actually, we did 2 gift cards last week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great, but because we did one at the beginning and one at the end of the show. We didn't get the name of the second person, but don't worry.
Well, congratulations to both of them.
There you go. We will find you and we will get you your gift card. Anyway, so lifelong friend, Nick Abate. We're sitting at Valari's Lakeside
Just
Restaurant.
met him.
I get that a lot, actually, but I call him a lifelong friend since he's been around for more than 10 minutes. But Nick Abate, Valari's Lakeside Restaurant. We're sitting out here on the patio
Yes,
at
we are.
Valari's Lakeside. And let me tell you, folks, if you do hear some buzzing in the background, they're constantly doing improvements to this place. So Nick never sleeps. They're working right there in their tiki bar. So if you do hear a drill or something like that, it's because they're making it better for you. So anyway, Nick, talk to me, brother. Let's talk about how we ended up here at how the Abate family ended up here at Valari's Lakeside.
Bob, first off, thank you for having me. It's always a
Pleasure.
pleasure to see you. But yeah, in regards to the Abate family and how we ended up here at this point. So our business is a family-owned business. We have myself, I have my brother Joe. Mom and Dad are still involved, limited though, but they still are involved.
Your dad's always here.
He is always here, you're right. Yeah, it might
Silver
be-
Fox, that guy is.
He is. Handsome devil.
Yes, he
Handsome
is.
devil
Yes,
he
he
is. But yeah, in regards to our background and basically to give you a little bit of idea of what we do. So here at Valari's Lakeside, we've been here just about 24 years, Bob.
I know, crazy, right?
It is crazy.
And it's
It is
amazing he's
crazy.
only 30, so he started when he was 6 years old.
Yes, matter of fact, why don't we get into, first off, how we actually reconnected.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I guess shortly after college, Timmy Baldwin, Brian Foster.
Yes, remember them
yeah,
well.
Yeah, Nick had opened this place and they invited us down and we came down for a delightful meal. It was great. And then time had gone by, our kids grew and life got the way life is, and
Indeed.
yeah, and then actually just life happens.
Things happen.
Anyway, things happen. And eventually, I had gotten a divorce, and I was out dating, as people are prone to do. And woman I was dating, I'm
Yes.
dating Candy. We came to Valari's, and this is like 20 years after like the initial dinner we had when we were down here. And I said to Candy, I said, my buddy Nick used to own this place. And we're sitting right over there at the tiki bar, and lo and behold, I hear somebody say, Cardia. And holy crap, he still owns the place. So,
Yes, I'm still here. I am still here.
so it's funny because we used to talk. We're 2 Italian kids from Cherry Hill, and we used to talk about how similar life was. Like,
Indeed.
I remember I worked an entire summer. Well, we are the oldest golf school in New Jersey, as the viewers know, and you're wondering why we're doing a performance psychology segment at Valari's, because you know what, entrepreneurs are, that is a whole different. You could apply entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurial spirit to almost anything that you do in life. So the fact that Nick is one of the oldest running restaurants around here, and I'm the oldest golf school, I thought to myself, what the hey, let's do it. Yeah.
What a great connection.
Right, I know. So, I remember telling you this story. I don't know if you remember it, but my dad hired me to work at the golf schools. And back then, this is, like 30 years ago at least, I was the guy that drove the cart to pick up the golf balls. And let me tell you what, which is
You're that guy?
Everybody's gunning for you. It looks like a glamorous job. It grows old after about 10 minutes, let me tell you. And back then, you had to have a hard hat on because it wasn't a cage. It was a netted vehicle. I can't tell you how many welts I got. Right? And that heat of that thing, I mean, it's amazing more people have not perished picking golf balls, I'm telling you now. So after the entire summer was over, my dad's like, what do you want? So there was a picture of a Spalding TPM Mills Black Magic putter on the back of Golf Magazine. Golf Digest. And I said, Dad, that's what I want. And my dad proudly bought it for me, and I was the happiest kid in South Jersey. Years later, I realized I worked 60 hours a week for an entire summer for a putter. And I was happy, right? So, the family dynamic of working hard, and now any kid I ask, usually including my own, well, not always mine, but can you help? And what am I gonna get paid?
First question always asked.
Yeah, what are you? You know what? How about the pure satisfaction of helping out? Dad.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
the one that tries to help you as much as possible through life.
Right, I know. Well, I believe this, and I know you believe this. Is I think one of the jobs in life as a parent, at least the way I was taught, was you always want your kids to have more than what you had.
100%.
Yeah, and that's where I am. If I leave this planet, my kids, getting something better than I got, I'll be pretty happy with that. Mind you, I'd like more too.
I'm in full agreement with you, Bob.
Thank you,
Bob,
sir. Thank you.
Most definitely.
So now we run our own business, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So I get all the time because people are like, oh, you love what you do. Most days I do. Obviously there are good days and bad days, but when people talk to me like, well, how do you do this? You start with a career with no money, no health benefits, no government pension, no nothing. Why would you do this? Well, I'm in control of my own fate.
That's right.
I do what I want to do. You and I are both not desk people.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And there's something about making your own buck. I always say, and you tell me what you think about this, is if you don't pursue your dreams, right? And I think I've mentioned this before. If you don't pursue your dreams, someone's going to pay you to pursue theirs. Right? So you're stuck working for some other bastard. Let's say you're working for us.
That's it.
Which is
the term controlling your own destiny. Makes perfect sense to me.
Well, let me tell you, man. Well, I talked to Nikki's people a lot, and people, I don't know if they're lying to me or not, but they all say they love you. See, there's a dump truck in the background. You hear that? There you go. So here's my quote of the day. My first quote, Mark Cuban. I watch Shark Tank. You watch Shark Tank?
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah. Owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Shark Tank, whatever. He said the key to opening or running your own business is to work like there's somebody who's trying to take what you got 24 hours a day. Right, always outwork the person, and that's you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done, right? So, you watch Shark Tank or no?
I do.
You
do watch Shark Tank.
See, I think all entrepreneurs love Shark Tank. I
Absolutely.
really do. Yeah, because and actually I'm working on something now. I got it in my bag. I've brought it to show you. Actually.
You did.
I'm working on the prototype. The prototype's done.
Oh, wonderful.
I just want to see if I can patent it before I put it on the market. But
nice.
if
Love
I
to
can't,
hear about it.
I'll show you these secrets. My bag or these secret surprise.
Folks, I'm going to steal this.
Yes, exactly. I know. That's what we do. That's what us Italian people do. We steal.
We're entrepreneurs.
we gamble, but we dabble in concrete and small personal loans.
Yes.
All right. So you've been in business a long time. What would you say? What does it take to be successful in Abate? What does it take?
What does it take? Well, there's a few things in business, especially when you're working for yourself. There's every day is a new challenge. There's the aspect first off of working against competition, because we all have that, of course, correct?
We do.
And that's a challenge in itself. And depending on the type of business that you're going to be running, because you could have a business that only has 2 people working for you, or you could have a business like this where we have close to 60 people here during the summertime. Yeah. That in itself can be very, very challenging. So with that being said, every day I wake up with the attitude, how can I make Valari's Lakeside better each and every day? And the work never stops. It's a constant hustle, and you just try to do the best you can with what you got. That's
Well,
basically
and one of
how-
the things you and I connected on, right? So I've run a bunch of special events. Matter of fact, I have our banquet here on Monday for our junior
Yes,
golf
we do.
league.
Yep.
Yeah. So Nick, bourbon and cigar night. We do a ladies' night. We
We've
did a
done that.
singles night. There's all kinds of things that we do, and some of them, like the ladies' night, sold out. There was like 80, 90 women came into that place. It was great. And then other nights, like the singles night, where you learn as you go.
You live and learn.
Yes.
You live and learn.
You never fail. I tell my golf team this all the time. We either win or we learn. So if you're ever running a singles night, by the way, set age parameters.
Yes. Yes.
Because I remember the women that we had were all like 30 to 55, 60, and all the guys were like 25 to 40. So there was a little overlap in there, but there was
Slight.
always, yes. So well, if you were a cougar, it was a great experience, right? But that's what I and Nick and I talk about this when we're running events. Like, never be afraid to try something new. Like, and from what I've seen, the restaurants that don't succeed or the golf schools that don't succeed are, I'm just going to teach lessons. I'm going to sit back, wait for the phone to ring, and book my lessons. No, we run private lessons. We run camps. We're now affiliated with KZG, so we do custom club fittings now. We're in a youth golf league. We put together a ladies golf league. I mean, you constantly have to grow, and I see the same thing with you guys. Like, well,
Yes.
we talk about, because I know you do weddings and banquets.
Yeah, so at Valari's Lakeside, again, there's a lot of things. When you come into our place, you'll notice a number of different businesses under one roof. For instance, here as we sit out on our patio with alfresco dining as an option, to my left we have our tiki bar area, which is a little more casual. As long as what Bob had just mentioned is we do weddings here, we do christenings and showers, things
What's
of that
your capacity?
nature. Our capacity for our large banquet room is about 180 guests. Out here on our patio, we can seat up to 125 guests. Our tiki bar can seat up to 200 people. And we also offer...
We've been known to be at the tiki bar.
Yes, once in a while. You
Yes.
look familiar.
I do. I've been there once or twice.
But besides the business that we have here, we also do offer off-premise catering. So
Yeah.
if there's an event that you'd like to have at your house,
Yep.
that's certainly something that we can
Yep.
accommodate you
Yep,
with.
yep. With Dogleg, we were also affiliated with Dogleg up in St. Vincent off of Route 130. We were going to do a ladies' night there.
Right.
We postponed it right now. A couple factors that factored in, but ladies, don't worry. It looks like we're going to do it in the fall now. So but that was off-site catering from Valari's also. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Always, and again, going back to what I was saying here, when you come into Valari's, you'll either see my smiling face or perhaps my brother's, but there's always someone here that's related to the family. That you can be rested assured of.
Yeah, or the silver-haired fox, which is your dad. Yes, I always see your dad.
Absolutely. He's always here.
Yes. So, okay. So I know in my world, because I get all the time when I'm teaching. Oh, you because I don't know, for those of you who know the South Jersey area, Somerton Springs used to be the 9th or one of the top 10 largest golf retailers in the country. We were partners with Somerton back in the day.
Okay.
And then my father passed away from cancer young, and I ended up selling the place, and it subsequently became Big Swing. So Big Swing is now where we base our home operations for our golf school. But when people find out that I own and run my own business, they're like, "Oh, you do what you love, right?" And I always throw the joke out when I was in Silver Plume, Colorado. We were in Silver Plume, like population 100, right? It's just some local bar. It's the only bar restaurant I ever walked in. It was nice. It was it was like had that rustic feel. It was a fairly large bar.
Sure.
We walked in around lunchtime, and there was a sign on the bar: "Be back in 10 minutes. Make yourself comfortable." Like, okay, can't do that around here, folks.
It doesn't work that way here.
We live in Jersey. That doesn't work that way. So, but then there was a sign hanging above the bar that said, "The only thing more overrated than owning your own business, natural childbirth." So, I got a kick out of that. Although I enjoy running my own business. I have personal advice for anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur. But since we're in separate industries, what advice would you give to a young aspiring entrepreneur?
What advice would I give? I'd first start off with a mindset. Come into a situation with an open mind. and understand that every day is going to be a new challenge.
Yeah.
Not every day is the same.
Nope.
Will not happen. And basically, know that there's no 9 to 5 schedule. You're not following a 9 to 5 schedule.
No, you're not.
Some days you may be working at 6 in the morning,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, only to help improve your business. But at the end of the day, you want to go home with the feeling of, I had a successful day.
Yeah.
And don't forget your past, so it can only improve your future.
Yeah, that's you learn from the history of it.
Exactly.
For sure. I use history to learn from it, right? But
We
you
all
know,
should.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But in terms of negative past, because we all have bad days, folks. I mean, I saw a quote. I actually used it in one of our shorts this morning. If you experience a bad chapter in your life, don't close the book, right? Okay, just go to the next chapter and start again.
Exactly.
Yeah, because all books, good chapters, bad chapters, but at the end, to make the whole story, you need to go through the whole book. So, I look at
We're all human, aren't we?
yeah. Well, I don't know if you are. I mean, you are Nick Abate, my friend. Like that's back in high school, because Nick and I went to, I don't know if you said that, we went to high school together.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we always say about Nick, men, want to be him and women want him. So that's either want him or you want to be like him. That's Nick Abate.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, Ben and I'm just playing.
Yes, of course.
Your lovely bride. So I wrote down a couple things, because when I think about what it takes to be an entrepreneur, it's great when things are going well, but this is what I think are the keys to being successful. So think big, right? You said your family started off just with pizza shops.
Yeah, we were in the pizza business.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I remember Nick and Joe's.
That's right.
Back in the day. But you know what? You never said, "Hey, I just want to do pizzas the rest of my life." Because when you get to Valori's, folks, this restaurant is nice. Like they have all, like you said, several businesses within a business. I mean, they have the bar, restaurant, they have fine dining, they have the cater, they have the tiki bar. This is far from a pizzeria. This is a legit, catering restaurant facility. And I'm sure, or your dad or you guys, that's what you wanted to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't just sit. And again, nothing wrong. Anybody who owns a pizza shop, I love you. Right? Great cash business.
There you
right?
go.
But if you want to get bigger, you got to think big. 2, and I've done this, and this is for Brian Foster out there if you're watching, okay? Because Brian. So I always do this, and Lori knows this too. His lovely bride is I never ask, can I do something? I ask, what is it going to take for me to get this done? And I stole that from Robert Kiyosaki, but it's true. I mean, like my lake house, which you're going to come down to. Everybody told me right after divorce, like, there's no way you're going to go broke, you're going to go bankrupt, and I said, you know what? Don't tell me what I can't do. What do I need to do to get this done? And I did it. I bought it and I redid it.
You did.
And, we have at least 4 or 5 big parties down there a year, which we're going to probably do something in July. Although you're invited to my son Cooper. Shout out Coop. Graduated from Cherry Hill West. Graduation party is July 6th. He went to West, not East, but he's the only kid.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We have our
We all have our vices, right? Nah, it's all good. The third thing I tell people is cultivate good friends. I always tell people, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. Like I'm talking to Nick every time he and I talk, we come back to business at some point, right?
Always.
Yeah.
It always ends up with business being part of the conversation.
Right. And I have no problem with people that want safe government jobs. I have no problem if that's what you want out of life. Okay, but if you want to retire with your pension and get a house down the shore and relax, I don't. I always kid with people that I want world domination. So I'm constantly trying something new and exciting. So I think that's if you want to get to the next level, you need to find people that push you, challenge you, and want more, right? And then the last thing, don't be afraid to fail. Like my singles day, it wasn't a complete failure because I think most people had a good time, but it wasn't the event that I wanted to do. So, well, name an event that you failed with or wasn't your desired outcome that you learned something from.
Well, we are part of the Polar Bear Plunge. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so
Well, you are.
The Polar Bear
I
Plunge,
watch
I've
it.
been involved with the Polar Bear Plunge for probably about 12 years now. And there have been fundraising events which I thought were going to do quite well, and they ended up flopping. And, for one reason or another, it just happens, and you just learn from it. And like we said earlier in the conversation, that you pick up your boots and get going.
Yeah, yeah.
Plain and simple. Don't be afraid to fail when it comes to entrepreneurship. It will happen. It's almost a guarantee it's going to happen at one point or another.
Yeah.
Not a complete failure, but you're going to
No.
have failures. That's it. It's just a part of the game.
We've never had a complete disaster failure.
No.
But I mean, you never. And there's variables, and the things happen, and weather, and the personalities, and you never know. I mean, you don't. But you don't fail, you learn. But don't be afraid to fail, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. Don't be stupid either. But
No.
don't be afraid to fail. So. I love that, and we share a lot of the core common beliefs and all this kind of good stuff. But, folks, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Right now, we're pushing somewhere around 300 subscribers, and I know we're well over, I think, 120,000 views in like 10 countries. So, I like to think we're doing something right. And this podcast, for example, right? Nikki knows, like my technology skills are limited, right? So I researched out the wazoo. I said, what do you need to make a podcast? Get good microphones, get a good camera, and I followed, and this sucker has grown every single week since we've done it, right? And now that I have
That's
Nick
awesome.
on here, the internet's probably going to break.
It could be a possibility. It could be a possibility.
Last, and I'm working with a company called Third Base that we work with.
Yes.
We have online stores for both the South Jersey Golf Schools and the Breakfast Ball. I know my buddy Darby and then Preston or Bill yesterday tried to buy stuff off the website. What happens is it's 2 weeks on, I think 1 week down, 2 weeks on. They do a week for restocking. So if you've gone on our website and have not been able to order, I contacted them to see if there's any way we can stay open every week. But it's never a close. You just might have to go on the following week. Anyway, if you get something out of this program, right, and you become, at least reasonably successful, we get 10%, right? Anyway, I am Bob Carty, your host at the lovely Valori's Lakeside Restaurant. Right. To my left, to your far right, the handsome Nick Abate. So if you have any catering needs or anything you want to do, functions, by all means. Nicky, did you have anything you want to throw in there at the end?
Yes, absolutely. In regards to what Bobby had just mentioned, you can reach us at valorislakeside.com or just pick up a phone, 856-228-5244.
Oh, man. See, I didn't do that. That's great. All right. Well, good. God bless, folks. Catch you next week.
Take care.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. Because no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.